dedication.
Yeah.
Fall down. We all fall down. We all fall down. And we all keep on falling down as we all fall down. And we all
We're live. We're live.
live.
Episode.
I am not alive.
Episode
Oh
51.
my God.
It's chocolate.
Dude.
Free chocolate was given to me right before we went on. What do you want me to do?
I don't think that chocolate's actually free. It's going to come with cost.
Mm.
I mean, it says XX on the box.
I don't go fuck. You can't.
Like a retard.
Can we
Oh,
go through
my
the
God.
unwrapping session?
Who was that? Who was that voice back there?
I don't know, but you didn't get the notice. The notice we put on this fucking computer every week. Shut the fuck up.
I got
King
stapler.
card.
I got stapler.
You threw a fucking goddamn chicharron at me last week. I just remember it right now. You haven't gotten
You
you back
remember
with that
last
one.
week?
Yeah. Anyway, you know what you should do? I'm Gizz Lazlo,
I'm just Paul.
and welcome to our little fucking show.
Wow. We're going that route, huh?
Season
Welcome to
2.
chocolate
Season
chewing
2.
fucking loudmouth over here.
Fucking be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe to Do Podcast on YouTube. We're on every Monday at 7 p.m.
YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.
Yeah. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Right?
Probably.
But now we got all that bullshit away. Thanks to our sponsors, Headline Records,
Trans Brewing.
MEOWZ,
Meow meows.
and Right Manufacturing.
Yeah.
And our website is
It's
up,
fucking
but it's
live.
not yet finished.
It's not good, but it's there.
Yeah.
It's not too.
Pornhub is better.
No, it's not.
Yeah, they got hockey
Like a
fights
hot-
now.
Oh my God.
Like a
Hockey
hot
fights
one.
on Pornhub go.
Yeah. Oh, fucking dig it. Ugh.
Oh, and Sean's a retard.
.com.
That's pretty good, actually.
Oh.
What's going on? Where you been? What's happening?
See, my week was good. I went to Arizona over the weekend, played a couple shows with Foreclosure as a 4-piece. So we're now Foreclosure. Oh, you are Closure.
I am officially going to throw my hat in the ring for the fucking job, dude.
We are
Mike,
taking it.
Mark, I love you. This is going to be rough.
Well, I have a possible replacement sitting in the studio today.
Really?
I'm not going to say his name, but
Mindy?
she'd actually show up and likes to stay for the whole show.
I know. Imagine that. They'll probably like give you a compliment where every once in a while.
Oh, fuck. Oh, damn. Look. Turn around.
There was titties. They were hairy.
Titties.
Hairy titties. That's
Uh,
actually a pretty good name for a band. Hairy titties.
There is a band called Harry Titties.
Is there?
Yeah. But over the weekend, I went to Arizona and played with a bunch of really cool bands. One, especially, they kind of were our support act for the weekend, called In Lessons. They're from Tucson, I believe. In
Free
Lessons.
son?
Huh.
Come on. That was horrible.
For fuck's son.
Uh-huh.
But they're a 4-piece, really cool emo. Like, I think the oldest member is 36. His name is Pat, the bass player. It was his birthday on Friday.
Oh, yes.
But the singer, Mitchell, he really cool voice, very 90s inspired. Like a lot of those bands
That was the
came
best
out,
decade.
you know, and then their guitar player, I can't remember his name right now, but he reminded me of Jade from AFI,
Oh, okay.
and
All right.
he was in another band before that. I can't remember right now. I drank a lot this weekend.
No, you don't say.
Yes.
Look at me.
I can't.
Yeah, I know.
I can't.
Don't make eye contact.
There's so much shame in my eyes right now.
I got an Eric on my couch. You can imagine the amount of drinking I
There's
got.
a lot
up
of
to.
shame
Fuck,
there.
dude.
But no, it was a great weekend. AG sessions, played with those guys, really good.
What clubs did you hit?
See Timeout Lounge in Tempe, which is right next to Zia Records. It's a really big independent music record
Oh,
store.
cool. Fucking
There's
awesome.
a lot of really cool stuff in there. And then Saturday we played in Bisbee, which is really far north, right on
Doug
the
Stanhope.
border. And
South,
a
isn't it?
little,
It's by the
yeah,
border.
very south. And
They let you come back?
didn't get the border, idiot. I tried to stay away from the border.
Uh-huh.
But really cool story, real quick, is we stopped in Tombstone to eat, and the restaurant we were told like Big Nose Harry's or some shit. Like, you got to eat there, but the line was so long, it was about an hour wait.
Oh,
So
man,
I was like,
no.
fuck this. There's no Jack in the Box in town. So, but I was walking. There was this really like gallantly good-looking man, white guy in a white suit, like very Western though, like from the period. And he came up to me. We started chatting, and he shook my hand, gave me his business card, and he goes, "Yeah, my name is Earp, Wyatt Earp Jr. My grandfather, my great grandfather was Wyatt Earp." I was like, "No fucking way, man!"
There couldn't have been that many greats. Wyatt Earp died in 1921 in LA.
Fucking,
There's just two greats.
I love Kurt Russell.
Great baseball player too.
I gave him a hug, gave him his business card, and
You touch his butt?
no, hell no.
Oh, okay. Just
No,
checking.
Wyatt Earp, man, that motherfucker shoot.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And he had a gun on, whether it be fake or real, I don't know. It's Arizona.
Man, that makes me nervous as shit. I know in Arizona, one of the laws is you can't have a gun in a bar or a bank, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, every bar it says no firearms allowed. And I was like, why does every fucking bar
They have
in Arizona
lockboxes.
say that? Like, do they have a big problem with that?
Uh-huh. Yeah, alcohol,
But in Texas,
rage.
in Texas, you can go in with your
No,
firearm.
absolutely not.
You can.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Well, the bars that I play in,
Oh.
I got shot in
Yeah.
Texas, so,
What are we doing
I'm
this
gonna call
week?
bullshit on that. How was your week?
What are we doing
yesterday?
this week? I was drunk.
You've been drunk
again,
for 14 days, is from what I
I
understand.
have an Eric on my couch. It's been fun. We've been. I really enjoy working with Eric and Metal because we get to do a little bit of like brain stuff, and it's stimulating and challenging. And then I get to tell Eric he sucks. He got fired from the Spy Academy.
Ah.
Yeah, totally fucked up.
So we got some shows this weekend.
Ooh.
Friday night at MEOWZ, we got the Chicken Heads.
Yeah,
They're doing a benefit.
If they're still talking to us.
They're having a benefit for the fires that happened out there in Pasadena,
Yep.
Pasadena area. Which you guys are in town, and that's a good way to support those people. There's a recording studio that went down. That's so much vintage gear in there,
So much went down in the fires.
And then on Saturday at the 3 clubs in LA, Crash Karma, our good friends are playing.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's all the good shows.
Well, I mean, there is one more show at the Redwood.
The Redwood. Oh, that's
the
right.
The LA Slumlords.
That's right. But I said punk shows.
Oh,
that's a rock and roll band. So we can,
dick.
I
still love you guys, Ish.
And I will be playing the show because they can't find a drummer.
No, I'm not going to comment on that at all. You're a goddamn professional. He's a goddamn liar.
I hope I get paid. I hope I get paid because I'm not in the band.
Actually,
so I am a hired drummer.
I helped James write an invoice for you. You owe money.
I guess I'm not going. But actually, our guest, one of his pals,
this is one of my favorites.
Is in the Slumlords, and he's here. No, he's not going to be on camera tonight, but
he's not allowed.
No.
I
haven't gotten the release from the Slumlords. They are the ones that pull the strings. They're not a punk rock band. I told you, they're a rock and roll band.
Providing quality.
But
I feel nervous, like really bad right now. Like, I never had an anxiety attack, but this is probably what it feels like.
That's what it starts like.
Yeah.
That's what it starts all like. You get that like little stinging ring.
My butthole's a little puckered. I think my fingers are tingling.
Oh, that's a heart attack.
That's a heart attack. Yes. Woo! I paid for that stroke. I want it.
I paid for a stroke this morning. Actually, no, I didn't pay for it.
Just leaving bills everywhere.
Your mom don't count.
No.
Wow. Wow. That story took a turn really quick.
All right. What do we got going on this week?
So another really quick story that's going to intro our guest is that over the weekend, what I really like about Foreclosures, the guys, we all have a playlist on Spotify, and everybody, their songs just jumble up and shuffle. And it seemed like every 50 miles, an overwhelming Colorfast song would come
One
on.
of the greatest bands in the history of the world.
And I haven't known Dan that long, but I've
We just got
been a fan
married.
of his. Yeah, you just got married, right?
We did.
In a few weeks. Oh, he's still single. So there's still time. There's still time to get in trouble.
No, don't say that.
But it seemed like every 50 miles, one of their songs would come on, and I was like, I was a huge fan. I never, unfortunately, I never got to see the band back then. But like every time I heard a song, I'd smile and go, "Fuck, man, damn,
Yeah,
they were one of those
Yeah.
bands that."
dude, I heard She Said, and I'm like, what the fucking jeez. I mean, it was immediate. Like,
Yeah.
and then like Tomorrow. I mean, like, oh, that whole first like self-title.
Well, I guess we're done stroking them off. We should get in here. So
Yeah,
we can
you
finish
touch
on
it
them now,
first.
huh?
Come on in.
Dan Reed, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay!
Good to see you, pal. Thanks for coming. Good to see you.
Have a seat, man.
We got one Dan
How you
Reed in
doing?
here. I have
Larry, good to meet you.
Larry.
Thanks for
Ooh,
coming.
That's Saul.
Larry.
Yeah, Saul and Larry.
That's just Saul.
The part of Hiram will be played by Dan.
There's
Right.
got to be a great rabbi joke in that.
Okay. All right.
All right, so let's get into it, man.
Torb said I had to be here, so start asking questions.
When you were 16.
Show me on this young boy where the doll touched you.
For the dog.
Or was it a goat? I don't remember.
That chugger went down the wrong pipe.
Oh boy,
Oh,
this is already going nowhere.
It's
yeah.
fucking-
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is all over the place.
You
Yeah.
didn't realize that when you pulled up?
Never once did I say this would be serious.
Oh, this is a great neighborhood for a podcast.
When the three guys were taking one of my tires already, when they were parking, yeah.
Why are the streetlights all out? Some
That was my
wire.
son and my two cousins.
Nice. Congratulations.
Hey, everybody
doing
needs a
great.
job.
You're doing great.
So Dan's the chief rhythm section of one of my favorite bands of all time, Overwhelming Colorfast, who I actually believed for a long time that you were the Connor brothers.
Really?
Yeah.
You thought we were the
There was just like, well, they're
yeah.
brothers.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And they're
there's.
fat. Yeah. say what you mean to say.
Dude, if I was thin, I wouldn't say it. No, but it always kind of like looped in my head that like maybe that's the same fucking band,
Yeah.
and it is not. The same band.
Ironically, I had a Screaming Trees tribute band in Seattle about
No
15
shit.
years ago. Yeah.
What was it called?
It was called
Cramming Streets.
Black Sun Morning.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it was fun. So we had a good time.
Man,
Quiet
Mark-
Trees
when-
would have been a
yeah.
better name.
We got Mark Pickrell to play drums with us.
Oh,
on the show
really?
once, too.
Fuck yeah.
That was fun. So,
Yeah, when Mark died, I was bummed. I really liked his whole body of work, and
yeah.
I've heard he was just a brawler
Yeah.
and just kind of a fucking massive piece of shit. And I'm like, I fucking look up to that man.
Then I guess I got places to go.
Yeah, up is up.
Up is up, right?
So the band started in 92, right?
No, we started in '89,
Really?
and my brother and Torg, the guitarist, he started off on bass. And they had a different drummer, Kevin named Bob Carty, and Bob Carty was a junkie, and he kept nodding off behind the drum kit. So they
Not
fired
helpful.
him, and my brother said, "Hey, dude, just come in and lay down some drums on something." And I sat down and played drums on a song called "Forgiven," which was on not Forgiven, but "Fearless" on the first record.
Uh-huh.
But and right after I played that, him and Torg were like, "Oh crap, dude, you got to get a drum kit and play with us." I'm like, "Okay." So I went down and dropped some money on a drum kit and started practicing like a
Okay.
crazy monkey. And in July of '90, we recorded our first demo, and 7 months later, we were signed. And,
I mean, it was
6 months later, we were in Wisconsin recording with Butch Vig. So
yeah. I mean, you guys really were like, boop.
yeah.
I mean, how was it recording with Vig, by the way?
You know what? He's a drummer, and being an inexperienced drummer with a year and a half under my belt was brutal because he was just like, I could just see the disappointment seething from his pores the whole time.
Oh,
As I was just like, oh man, it took almost a whole week to get my drum tracks done.
For
And,
2 songs.
For
there was 7.
13, young man. There's
13. Okay. 13 songs.
And yeah, so as soon as I got home from recording, I got a drum machine and started playing to a click track all the time.
Perfect.
Never had that problem again. So.
So where did the name come from?
So originally, my brother really liked the name Colorfast, and he stumbled upon a record by a guy named Joe Williams, jazz guy, and it was called The Overwhelming Joe Williams. And he thought that it was
I know that.
cool that someone could be so ballsy to call themselves overwhelming. That he thought Overwhelming Colorfast, why not? So
Underwhelming Stains. That's our new band.
we used to call ourselves Overeating Color Fat, so that was a fun one. So, yeah. So that was was our fun name.
See, that's cool. When a band can make fun of themselves.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
That-
we did. We
Oh
did.
man.
You should have heard some of our live shows. Yeah, we made fun of ourselves.
I really like. That's one of the like bucket lists. When are you doing a reunion?
Not gonna happen.
Oh man.
No.
We already
did
got
a-
already did one.
We
so.
we did one for our friend O's memorial in San Diego
Yeah,
about a year and a half ago, and I think that was the last one. So I think that was it. So, yep,
man.
yeah.
Damn it.
You got YouTube though. Still got YouTube.
Oh, I
so.
still. Oh, it happens.
Yeah.
It's been happening all
Yeah.
day.
You know, you talk
Like-
about working with Butch Vig real quick, just rolling back to that. He still mentions like how much trouble he had working with me in the studio.
No shit.
He's always, yeah, I remember the drummer kept like doing this thing with me. Thanks, Butch. I'm better now. I got better.
So there was-
as soon as we finished, I
You guys
got
had two
better.
producers. Was it the first one or the second one? There was somebody quoted them and said
So,
like you guys got kind of whitewashed by a producer.
well, what happened was we recorded the debut album with Butch Vig, and then Butch went off to do. He was
Everybody?
basically- yeah.
Nirvana.
So he came home on Friday from doing Nirvana's record in July, and we arrived on Sunday with our gear and started recording with him on Monday. So he had just finished Nirvana. We worked with him for 3 weeks. Then he did Chainsaw Kittens, flipped out in Singapore,
Mhm.
and then I think right after that he did L7. Bricks
Oh,
Are
wow.
Heavy, and
Bricks
then
Are
he
Heavy,
did
yeah.
like Smashing Pumpkins, Sonic. So he was just piled, and so my brother and Butch came up with a mix on the first album that just wasn't like the label didn't really like. So Butch had to remix it, and so he did that in January of '92. Butch did a remix of it, and that's kind of what happened. And Bob wasn't there for it, so so I think there was some disappointment because like there was a couple solos that got left out of the final mix because they just Butch was just
Yeah.
trying to do his best job to finish it, and they just got overlooked. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's like
Oh.
what I read was
Yeah.
basically like there was way more to that band than what he did.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Yeah.
he didn't. I wouldn't say did it dirty, but he did dirty.
You know what? I think a lot of it had to do with experience in the studio because we had done
Yeah.
our first two sessions at a place in Emeryville up by Oakland called Dancing Dog. And Dancing Dog was owned by a guy named Dave Bryson. And Dave Bryson's the guitarist and chief songwriter of Counting Crows.
Ah,
And before they took off, we recorded our first demo there in the summer of '90 and then did another set in February of '91. With Dave and another guy named Dave Emmergluck, who also is a guitar player. He also had a band called Monks of Doom. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they were sort of an offshoot of Camper Van Beethoven. And
Oh, okay.
so we did our first two demos, and they're very rough and raw and stuff. And then when the album came out, a lot of people that knew us and had the demos up were like, "Whoa, this is like way more slick sounding," And so when we went to the second record, we grabbed Kurt Block because we loved the Flop record that he did, the first Flop record and the Fastbacks records and stuff. And so we,
Fastbacks.
Fastbacks are awesome.
yeah, so we had a drunken whirlwind few weeks making two words, so that was fun. So yeah,
I mean, you guys toured extensively. Like you went
we did.
out.
We did.
Well, shit, you
sure.
guys finished your first record, and then you went on tour with the Ramones
Yeah,
and Social
we did,
Distortion.
yeah, we did our first tour. We did a little mini tour across the country on our own. Played a few shows like with the Dwarves and Elvis Hitler and Nickel and Dime shows all over. And then, as soon as we came back and as soon as the record came out, we got offered the tour with the Ramones and Social D. So it sucks too because we got offered. We were like, okay, you guys can either go on tour with the Beastie Boys and Rollins band or Ramones and Social D. And we're like,
Ramones.
We're like,
you
what
go
do you
with
pick?
Ramones.
Yeah, so we did. We went with the Ramones.
Beastie
Yeah.
Boys, but they never made it or did anything.
Forget about it.
The Beastie What's?
Yeah,
The Beastie
exactly.
What's?
Yeah.
I like the Yeasty
Yeah.
Girls better.
Oh, the Yeasty Girls are amazing.
There you go. There you go.
So you're right.
What was the biggest crowd you ever like stood in front of?
In Berkeley, we played the Greek Theater in front of 10,000 people. So
yeah.
that was fun.
How'd
Yeah.
that feel like? Just like, oh shit moment? Or-
Yep, exactly an oh shit moment. And that was the 4th show of the tour.
Wow.
So, and that was the place I had seen all my shows, Susie, The Cure, Echo and the Bunnymen, Love and Rockets. I'd seen all these bands I loved there and the Smiths and stuff. And then to actually be on stage there, I was like, looking back, I was just looking out there and I was like, well, you're either going to crumble like a little whiny, how you doing? Or you're going to go out there and do it.
A little whiny, how you doing?
Oh my god. Dude.
Actually, some guy
Kindergarten
bootlegged
boys.
the show, and it's on YouTube if you
No
want to
shit.
see
I
it.
will absolutely
it's
watch
a fun,
that.
It's a fun gig. So, but and after that, it was just all just
Funnest gig from that era. What
Yeah.
was
funnest gig.
it?
They were all fun, man.
Dude,
I remember a
well,
gig at Bogart's. We played right before we started the Ramones tour. We played a gig there, and we just
That was the
tore
warm-up
that
show?
place up. Yeah, we tore that place up with like just food was flying everywhere and just being crazy. Yeah, and then there was the time when we met our tour manager right as we were starting the Ramones tour. We played a show at the Troubadour in Hollywood. And then
Is that with Weezer?
no, this is before Weezer. And we drove up to Vancouver to start the Ramones tour. Well, we met our tour manager at that show, and Torg was messing around, pouring beer on a TV, going like, "Haha, we're rock stars, whatever." And Shane caught wind of that, and so he went and grabbed Torg and threw him over the balcony by his ankles, upside down, and said, "We're not rock stars, are we? Are we rock stars? Do we have money to pay for TVs? No, we don't.
Oh my
Let's
God.
not do that." I was holding him, and Steve and I were out in the parking lot. We looked, we're like, "Oh, there you go."
What
So
do we
that's
do?
happening.
So we don't do that.
That would be a hard one. Would that be you or me?
Yeah.
You.
No, you.
Our tour manager was a guy named
I know my
Shane, and he was a
Sounds like a
former
big dude.
he was a former amateur wrestler, and his name was Bloodface, and he used to cut his face before he'd go into the ring and blood would pour down. Yeah. So,
Oh my God.
yeah, Shane was awesome. So yeah.
Most trouble you ever got into?
Most trouble we ever got into?
Like banding it up, like being rock stars. Yeah. Don't say that way. Yeah, you said it.
We didn't get into a lot of trouble, but we were pretty good kids. But the sound guy we had named Roz, who was a compulsive liar, he was hilarious. He decided to try and take his hash pipe across the border into Canada to start the Ramones tour. Yeah, and like they just knew. Like we pull up at 1:30 in the morning, and we were there for like 3 hours.
Get out of the car.
Pulled all of our stuff out and found that one thing. And they were gonna detain us all, and then finally Shane talked him out of it. But yeah, that was about the size of it. So.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, so he got docked like his pay that week.
I bet.
He's probably still not getting paid.
I know, exactly. Yeah.
We haven't heard from him.
He was
since.
awesome.
He
Roz was awesome because he was just so like unapologetically like ridiculously lie. And like he'd be like, "Oh yeah, Rush, I did sound for them on the Signals tour." Dude, you were 7. How could you have done sound for Rush when you were like, what? So we used to say that he did sound for Sex Pistols at Woodstock.
Oh
Yeah, that used to be a
that's
joke. We'd say that right in front of him.
fantastic.
Dude, I remember back in like early
Yeah, so
early
sound was
2000s.
great, wasn't it?
early 2000s
Yeah.
when I was touring, and these kids would come to the show, and they would say, "Oh yeah, I saw that band." Dude, you weren't old enough. No, I saw it on YouTube. Like that doesn't mean
That's
you were at the
completely
show.
different.
Yeah.
Completely
So
different.
this will date myself. I was outside of I think a Warehouse Records getting tickets for something.
Yeah.
And there was 2 girls in front of me talking about the Clash and saying, "Oh, that new band, the Clash."
Oh,
And I'm like, "Oh, this is great.
Yeah,
This is fantastic. You guys should see them."
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, the new band, the Clash, and this is in like 2004.
That guitar player, John Drummer.
Oh,
No, it's Drummer John,
Joe Hummer.
Joe Hummer. That's a good band name.
That's our producer.
What?
That's King Card for
He doesn't,
you.
he doesn't know that. He doesn't know that yet.
He'll figure it out a little bit.
We already got a half of a glory hole ready to
Oh
go
God.
for a tall person.
Oh, yeah.
This is going nowhere
This
fast.
is literally going nowhere fast. I'm pretty certain that things couldn't go any faster to nowhere than it's going.
So you did tell me that you played with Fire Hose, and I want to know about that.
We did play a show with Fire Hose once. Yeah, it was up at San Jose. We played. It was a benefit for a comp record that was coming out called "Our Band Could Be Your Life," and it was a tribute to the Minutemen. And Colorfast ended up doing a cover of Corona on that. I think it was in '93 or '94.
Is that recorded?
Yeah. My brother sang it. My brother sang it in Spanish too.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, and
It's weird.
But,
Speak Spanish.
yeah, we played with Fire Hose, and it was just so rad because we just love the Minutemen,
Oh, yeah.
And so they come up and they start playing, and like almost immediately, Mike Watt breaks a bass string. And being the ever-present human being that he is,
New metal?
dude, like within half a minute, he has his bass in his hand. He's like, "Here," like took Mike's bass, restrung it for him, swapped it out. And so when they got done, Mike comes off stage. He goes, "Where's my little buddy?" You hear this like yelling around the corner, and he comes around the corner and just picks up Steve and just bear hugs him. He's like, "Yeah," like holding him on his
Is
shoulder.
that the first time
Oh,
Steve ever kissed a man?
Might be the first time he ever peed himself. It was cute though. It was very cute.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike is not a small dude.
No, yeah,
He's no D Boone, but he's
Yeah.
not a small guy.
yeah. No, he was-
My dog's
he
name
was
is D Boone.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's adorable.
He's
adorable.
a giant fucking dog.
That's awesome.
Dude, I mean,
Yeah.
tour
My
story.
dog's name is Stain. Come, Stain.
Oh.
Can we cut his mic? That'd be great. Yeah. Yeah.
Or throat, like that'll work too.
Yeah, if you could
So we
maybe
got a
edit
guitar
this out
string laying
tomorrow.
around.
Stephen Wright's asking for his jokes back.
Tour stories, huh? Wow.
That's got. I've never gotten to do a tour with a band where like you're gone for months on end, like
Yeah.
in a foreign country or across the country. Like that is the stuff of legend, and like you don't have to tell all the stories. But
we did 5 U.S. tours and 1 Canadian one. Our first tour was by ourselves. We went out on our own and played, like I said, a few nickel and dime shows, and then the second one was Ramones and Social D. And then the third one we did a few months later. We toured with a band called Too Much Joy out of New York. They were like a college
that sounds
rock.
familiar.
Yeah. They were fun. Those guys are fun. They would kill like a bottle of vodka every night between like the 4 of them, like before they went on stage.
Oh shit!
And what they
Airplane
would
bottle?
do, no, it was in their rider, and they'd have that bottle. It was great. And they'd always take a hotel room key from like the night before or somewhere else. And like during the show, they'd be like, "You guys are all coming back to our room. We're at the Holiday Inn, room 641," and throw the key out there. Yeah, it was legendary.
Wasn't there a band at one point called Hot Chicks and Free Beer?
There was. They went nowhere.
I think they got thrown out of their first club.
Well, the hot chick went somewhere.
Put that on the marquee. Oh.
Yeah, no, that was funny. And then we did a summer tour that year with Sister Double Happiness and Cadillac Tramps.
Worst band in the world.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, Sister Double were from San Francisco, kind of like we were, but like we didn't really super gel with them. But we did Cadillac Tramps. Yeah, we were just, it was on.
Gabby was such a sweetheart, man.
Yeah, we had fun.
I've seen them a bunch. They're fun band to watch.
We stopped in like middle of nowhere, Kansas, at the Elvis is Alive Museum and went and visited this place. This guy had all this conspiracy theory stuff about Elvis still being alive and working for the government and all this stuff. And I took a picture of all of them standing in front of like the big painting of Elvis, and Gabby unzips his pants and puts his right next to Steve's face. So it's like right here in the picture. It's like right there, dude. Legendary.
Fucking legendary.
Yeah. So then we got along so well that actually one thing that happened too that was funny was they got on that tour, they got offered a gig to open for Pearl Jam up in Vancouver. And so they hopped a flight out of the Midwest somewhere and flew off to Vancouver, played, and then met us in Denver for the tour. So I drove their van for them. So we're driving into Boulder, and it's like 2 a.m. and like out in the middle of nowhere, and I get pulled over by a highway patrolman, and no papers on the van, no papers on the trailer. The trailer's expired.
No papers on anybody in the band.
And so their road manager, Lumpy, who was their first drummer, he totally just talked his way out of it. And yeah, Brian Coakley had to pay my ticket because it was just like, it was totally stupid. It wasn't even like a speeding ticket. It was just like a being in the wrong place at the wrong time thing. But yeah, but we had
California
fun.
plates.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah, totally.
You
In the middle of nowhere, Colorado. Yeah. But they liked, we got along so well, they offered us to go out on tour with them in Canada. So we did. We played like all the way through Winnipeg, Vancouver through Winnipeg. And we played like 2 or 3 nights in every town, and it was like packed every night. There was like maybe 1 or 2 shows that weren't completely packed. And it was because DOA and Red Cross were playing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever play with Propaganda?
No.
The Winnipeg band.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
I love Winnipeg.
Yeah.
It's the worst place
awesome.
on the planet.
Most Canadians say that too.
Yeah.
We finished that, but I'll say we finished that tour. Then we went down to the U.S. and joined up with Tree People from Seattle, and did like half a U.S. tour with them. That Kurt Cobain came to one of the shows. Yeah, because it was the night before Nirvana's opening show, I think in Kansas City on In Utero. Yeah.
Oh wow.
He was totally fried out, just sitting with his little pilot's hat on and dark glasses at the bar.
Just like not even there.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
I smoked a joint with him once.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. It was a really weird moment.
Chris Novoselic came to his house once, and I had to give him a ride home. And at like 3 a.m, him and his wife in our U-Haul van, and we got to his house at like 3 a.m. He had just bought this house in North Seattle, and opens all the windows and lights up a joint and fires up the jukebox at full blast, cranking up Dancing Queen by ABBA. This was like 3 months into their album being out and them just exploding. So
when Nevermind happened.
Yeah.
Summer '92.
Yeah. And so he's all like, "You guys got to go get your stuff from Neil's house and come stay with me." And his wife is in the background going, "I will stab you in your sleep. You guys come back here." And we're like, "Okay."
He's a lawyer now, right?
Is that what he is?
Yeah, I believe he's like a criminal defense attorney or something.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Huh? He's a politician?
Okay.
Even I'm a politician.
Oh. And that's it. Good night, everybody.
Look it out. Mic drop.
Yeah.
Awkward silence.
Yeah. Good
Nope,
times.
none
Good
of that.
times. You're quiet over there. What's going on with you, Gizz?
I'm just enjoying the stories,
He's
man.
drunk.
I fucking love it.
He's
I love
drunk
it.
and high.
It
Comfortably
amazes me, like, when a band just comes out, they do the first record, they go on their first tour, boom, second tour, we just went,
That's a literal thing.
with Ramones.
Yeah.
Second tour with the Ramones.
It's funny.
Who the fuck does that?
We came back from the Ramones tour, and our booking agent offered us to tour with White Zombie,
Oh shit.
and Bob turned it down because he just thought they were like a cheesy metal band, and they were kind of unknown at the time. It was a club tour, and it was during that club tour that Beavis and Butthead started running their clip, and they exploded. Yeah.
So
Missed it by that much.
I mean, like Jane's Addiction was one.
Yeah.
Fucking one album. Like Nobody worked. Boom. Huge.
Yeah,
Rage
yeah.
Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Overwhelming Colorfast.
Yeah.
Screaming Trees had to have a big argument about that first, but
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. No point in denying that. Yeah.
oh no, God, there was something in my brain. Go.
What?
Yeah, not
When
much.
you left the band, what was your
What was the reason I left the
Yeah.
band? Because I was too fat. No, I'm just kidding. No,
You can work on that a little bit.
No,
Look at us.
we were between labels, and Bob was, struggling to get us some tours and stuff, and Relativity dropped everyone on their label once Sony bought them, because like they basically got bought by Relativity got bought by Sony right when we were on tour for Two Words, and so there was no promotion, no video, no
Oh,
nothing,
man.
and then it was like a little less than a year later, they dropped all the bands that were on their label: Lucy's Fur Coat, Black Market Flowers. I don't know if you guys know.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I actually think I had vinyl from them.
Yeah. And so all the bands got dropped, and so we all kind of scrambled to find stuff, and we ended up signing with Cargo to do the one record that we did with Per Block, and and it was just Bob and I kind of came to blows about some stuff, and I just said, I'm done.
That was one of the things I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
You can say you don't want to talk about it, but like, you still good with your brother?
Yeah, I'm good with my brother. We had our ups and downs, but all brothers do. So
He's a
Oh,
cool guy.
He's nice.
yeah, no. I mean, Bob has an insane amount of talent, so we got really lucky that he wrote all those songs and created a career for us. So
Yeah,
so,
a great body
very
of work.
grateful
What's
for
it
that.
like being a millionaire?
Good question. Good question.
Steve?
You want to answer that for him?
Yeah.
All
Be
that-
assistant.
I'd love to find out.
Yeah,
I'd love
right?
to find out.
All
would
that
be-
slumlord money?
Oh,
Oh, God. Said the drummer to the bass player.
oh.
Uh,
I thought we were here to talk about me.
Yeah,
I'm
we
just
are.
kidding. I'm kidding. For the
Where'd you
love
get
of
those sideburns?
Where did I bought them? Craigslist. Yeah, some guy was getting rid of them.
Elvis.com.
$5.
Oh, man.
Elvis Hitler.
We were just fucking talking about Gigi Elvis. I don't know if you guys
Oh.
remember that, man.
Gigi
that-
Allen?
Gigi Elvis.
Oh, Gigi Elvis.
Did you ever hear about them?
No.
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 They were a weird band. They were like a Gigi Allen.
Elvis tribute band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually had a side band with Blag from the Dwarves called the Kleptonaires, and it was all Elvis covers. It was me, Bob, and Steve, and Blag. We played one show,
Uh-huh.
with Big Drill Car, and I think
Fuck. What?
yeah,
What?
yeah.
What?
yeah,
So
yeah. It was called the Pop Tart Festival in San Francisco in '93. Yeah,
It's a little
Yeah.
perverted.
yeah, it
I
was
like
fun.
it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fingers.
Yeah.
Besides the Ramones, what's the biggest band you guys played with?
Well,
What are your
Weezer
favorite?
used to open for us. I mean,
Yeah.
favorite, Ramones, easy. I mean, I bought my first Ramones album in 1977 when I was 11, so I couldn't really top that. So
Yeah, not really. I mean,
How was that feeling when you were told, oh, yeah, you guys.
it was surreal. I mean, it was absolutely surreal, and it was
the
surreal
5
the
minutes
whole
of
time.
your bullshitting.
And it was more surreal when I would look over and CJ and Joey would be watching our set every single night. It was just like, wow.
did you get to eat pizza with the Ramones?
No, they ate healthy stuff. They had
What?
like healthy food. Yeah.
Oh,
and
man.
they they had their own thing where they ate first, and then the other bands could come in and eat, kind of thing. And but Joey would always come hang out in our room and BS, and CJ too and stuff. Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, it was fun. They were really nice guys, and Johnny would always talk baseball. And
Mm.
Marky jumped on my kit one time.
No shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he jumped on my
tarnished
kit,
it.
dude. Yeah.
Ugh.
I asked him if he'd ever reunite with Dust, which was his early 70s heavy metal band. And he's like, no. I'm like, why not? You're old. You're going to die eventually.
Yeah,
you might as
You got the wig already.
Have you guys ever heard Dust?
I
No.
have not, but I'm going to.
Dust was a 3-piece. It formed in high school. It was Marky, it was Kenny Aronson on bass, who played with Billy Squier.
Yeah.
And he also played with Rick Derringer in the 70s.
Wow.
And he plays with somebody now. But and then Richie Wise on guitar and vocals. And Richie Wise produced the first 2 Kiss records.
Right.
Richie Wise and Kenny Kerner. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And the first album is rad. It's like really good heavy.
Really?
Zeppelin
All right,
kind
I'm
of stuff.
down
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
jumping. Like I hate Zeppelin,
Yeah.
but I'll jump in on it.
Yeah, it's really good. So.
I'm not a huge.
They hate you too.
You know what? It's really weird. Robert Plant calls me every day.
Yeah.
Tells me to fuck
That's
off.
adorable. I saw the movie last night, that Becoming Led Zeppelin. It was really good. It's a
Yeah.
really good documentary because it like just shows like how guys who just grew up loving music became what they became.
Of course.
They did 5 US tours in 7 months. Can you imagine being in England and just bounce, and in the process recorded a second album too.
Right.
Yeah, I mean they. Yeah,
So on the level of
insane.
Keith Moon, who do you think is the craziest person you ever toured with?
The craziest person I ever toured with? Oh man, I didn't tour with a lot of crazy people.
Let's go on tour.
This band's gonna hire me next.
We played with some fun bands. Like there was this one band called Eve's Plum. I don't know. If
I love
you know.
Eve's
Plum.
Yeah, they were kind of wacky. Yeah, we had some fun with them, like in the Midwest. We played a few shows with them.
Oh,
They were,
fuck.
yeah, they like to have a good time. So that
I
was
like
fun.
throwing TVs out of windows and
Yeah.
We're
like
pouring
you
water
know
on
the
them.
gosh you call it toaster now. It's called a bath toy.
This guy, ladies and gentlemen. I think your ride's here, by the way.
Somebody's gonna have to drive me fucking home.
Is that your Uber? I'm just kidding. No, you know, it was never that crazy. We had some fun, but you know, we met all kinds of characters on the road. A lot of people I still keep in touch with now, which is cool. So
I mean, that was a really, I literally feel like the 90s were kind of the extension of the 70s as far as music went.
yeah.
Like it really kind of turned a corner. The 80s weren't bad, but there's a corner that got turned where they got like more dynamic.
Well, I think the post Nirvana blow up just like took bands kind of back to that loose root kind of vibe, and there wasn't as much, you know, image.
And it was a lot easier
promoted.
to tour for the
Yeah.
bands like
Yeah.
you guys and any alternative band.
Yeah.
It just got a little bit easier
For
because
sure.
it was a little bit like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
we'll take a chance.
Yeah.
And a lot of those bands were just killer bands to begin with, and
Yeah.
now there was an outlet for it.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we did so many jaunts up to Seattle and down to San Diego. Like I lost track.
Mhm.
Like, you know, we used to play San Diego all the time, Casbah, and Seattle all the time. We played with Red Cross ones and stuff like that up there. So it was fun, man. Yeah.
I miss those. When I went on, this run this weekend, it was, the first night was like, oh man, there's a lot of people here. This is cool.
Yeah.
And then last night or Saturday night, it was just like, fuck, the Greyhound dog that was in there with most of the crowd, fucking dog.
Our
was
first
huge.
show on our first tour was in Salt Lake City, and there was like the other band and 2 girlfriends of theirs. And that was it. Like, rad. Welcome to Salt Lake City, land of enchantment.
One of my favorite shows that I ever played was in London at the Sir George Robey. Nobody came, not even the promoter.
What?
The only people in the crowd were the other bands, which was Hootin' Three Car and Ran, which were all produced by Frankie Stokes from Leatherface and their girlfriends.
Oh,
so it was
that's
about 10, maybe 15 people. But it was such a great night. It was one of those nights I'll never forget. It was just.
I was
really
telling
cool.
Steve about it. We played in Bellingham once, and there was like 4 people there. And I played Moby Dick. So like everyone just walked off stage. I played Moby Dick with the hands. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. So,
I thought that was the name of a guy.
this guy
It
right
doesn't
here.
ring good.
Excuse me, you have something on your beard.
It doesn't ring good.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that was fun. So, yeah.
I mean, okay, so just like the sound of
What's with all the questions?
I know.
Jesus.
We will ask the questions.
Wow.
That's my favorite knock mic.
That's adorable.
Yeah. I'm pretty cute. Like just the dynamic sound of Overwhelming Colorfast. You guys were like one of those few bands that like you got an album on your belt and then you sitting down on drums. Who were you thinking about playing like? What was that influence moment?
That's a tough one. Let me get out my notes. No, I'm just kidding. Being that I was
That's
a
your
bass player for almost a decade before that, I was just way more rooted into the bass. So when I started playing drums, I wasn't thinking of like I want to play like so and so. I was thinking
You
like,
definitely got a promotion.
I want to play like how I'd want to hear the drummer play with me as a bass player. You know what I'm saying? So I would just kind of like lock into that kind of groove. And I kind of morphed. I started morphing because my brother took the lead in almost everything in the band, starting songs and stuff, that I sort of gravitated towards following guitars more than bass.
That's an interesting way to look at drums.
Yeah. And so, but like some of my influences were like John Bonham, obviously, Phil Rudd from AC/DC, and, the drummers, Al Jackson from Otis Redding, and Little Richard's drummer and stuff like that. Just
Not
those
Peter
real.
Chris or Gizz Lazlo?
Who?
Gizz what?
I'm sorry.
Gizlo?
I'm a trifle deaf in this ear. Speak up next time.
What the fuck is a trifle, by the way?
I think that's what he was eating earlier. Yeah. No. I took it from every direction, any influences I could find. So yeah, I'm terrible, but yeah.
It's just interesting to hear like you're more following guitar. So I've been in that place where I'm like, don't follow me. Like playing guitar, like no.
And that's the thing though, is like I find I tend to play off of like a lead guitarist. Like when they play licks, like I'm like, like I hook kind of what off they're playing, so that way it kind of creates like a little bit of a different groove. So are we keeping you up? Is
no. My 5-year-old nephew just said he likes my octopus shirt.
Oh, that's adorable. Congratulations, Tony.
It took me a long time to play with a bass player, and not because Steve's here, but he's probably one of the only bass players that I played with in 30 years that I could actually follow along with.
Like
because he's like, wow.
Yeah.
Like he's actually,
why? Because Steve gets it. He like gets the dynamic between bass and drums.
Yeah. And he was a pleasure to play with.
Yeah.
It's sad that,
he said it was a pleasure playing with you.
Yeah. I hated quitting the band, but I just slumlords.
Yeah. Exactly.
They're playing on Saturday night at the Redwood.
Didn't they have
Slumlords
a
and Lazlo
video game or something?
Yeah.
They did have a song on
Guitar Hero.
Down and Dirty.
Down and Dirty.
17.
It was on Guitar Hero 3.
Extended edition, right?
Was that?
Extended edition, right?
Yeah. They were one of the bonus tracks.
They were a bonus track. Okay.
So in a good way, like you actually had to be really good in order to finally hear their song.
Yeah.
But in a bad way, nobody fucking heard it. But it's sold on a 13 million copies or something, which they boast about. Which hey,
dude, you did something.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is something.
My dad said it right.
Yeah.
Look what happened. Hey, where's my child support?
What? Son of a biscuit.
I know.
Donations are given in.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
So what made you stop drinking being in a band?
No, I'm actually allergic to beer.
There's more than what's beer.
Yeah.
Is it a mold allergy?
I don't want to go into specifics, but it has to do with my religion. So thank you for laying off. I'm kidding.
Yeah, just like you have 4 wives, we get it.
I just have like an allergy to whatever it is that's going on in there.
It's called handcuffs.
So I've been drinking cider for 35 years.
And what about cider?
Yeah. So no, I don't.
I mean, you'd be just as fun sober as you would be drunk.
What are you saying? Why are you punk?
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He's a drummer.
And when I was in Colorfast, I wasn't drinking anyway. I mean, I took about 6-7 years off and just didn't drink because I was just kind of bored with it. That's all you could do in our hometown Antioch was drink and smoke really weak pot. So and listen to Foghat 8 tracks.
I fucking love Foghat.
And who doesn't? Foghat's
I know,
greatest,
really,
the greatest rock and roll band of all time. Yeah.
I wonder if I go that far, but they're pretty goddamn good.
Yeah, they're amazing. But yeah.
The one thing that I love about having toured for 30 years is that everywhere I go, I have some friends that show up and they're still drinkers, and I end up drinking with them and
there you go.
Having fun.
There you go.
I don't know.
Rekindling. That's awesome. Yeah.
And just the touring aspect of it. I mean, being a musician, I think that's the most important part about being in a band. Is the touring part. You mean everybody can be in a band and record songs, especially nowadays.
Yeah,
it's so much easier to record songs, but
it is.
You do cross continents now. I mean,
I've been having these.
I don't want to hear
not arguments, but discussions with people when they say, "Well, you went on tour like this past weekend." I didn't go on tour. I just did a run show.
Played a couple shows.
It's a run. Touring is when you jump in a van and you're gone for more than a week. And
we should take the show on tour.
We should.
We should totally get kicked out.
Well, you're gonna beat us in Seattle.
I know.
The Chopping Mall tour.
We should get kicked out of everywhere.
Our podcast in your living room.
whether you like it or not.
Our podcast could be your life.
Doink.
That would be fun though.
Oh yeah.
You sure
It
about
can
that?
happen.
I just want to do Waffle House to Waffle House to Waffle
Yeah.
House.
We were
There you
watching
go.
videos of
That was
Waffle
Scattered,
Houses
smothered,
that bands
covered.
just show up and play.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
like,
awesome.
That's fucking badass.
Sure.
It was
Cheese
always
tots.
my dream when we were on tour was to steal Waffle House menus. So I got a couple. So yeah.
Really?
Go in and buy $1.75 big ass bowl of grits and
Oh.
eat it, and then just be like,
You're so good.
I know.
It's
Stick,
easy for a
stick
big
of
guy,
butter
too.
and a bunch of salt.
Oh,
yeah.
A stick of butter and a bunch of salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever get kicked out of a venue?
Yes, there was a club. There was a club in San Francisco that had just opened in the early '90s called Bottom of the Hill, and it's still around. And we got booked there because we were up and comers, and we got booked there and we started playing. And after 2 songs, the owner, Ramona, who's a sweetheart, she goes, "Can you guys turn it down? I have a headache." And
Was this Junior Juggernaut?
so Bob immediately turns to everybody and says, "Turn up." And so we turned up, and she pulled the power off the stage and turned on Freebird and turned the lights up.
I could have done any
Yeah.
Jimmy Buffett song would have been better than that.
So we packed our stuff up, and we knew some friends were having a party in Oakland, so we drove all our stuff over to Oakland and had like a warehouse party. It was rad. But like 3 months later, she's like, "I'm really sorry. Can you guys come
My
back?"
headache's
And
gone now.
it ended up we ended up having a great relationship with her in the club, and we played all the noise pops there for years, and like headline there still. So yeah, it was funny. So yeah.
That's the only time?
Yeah.
Come on, this guy.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, that's it.
I know another
We
time.
were just
I
fat.
know another time you
No,
got
You're just
no.
fat.
Uh-huh.
That
I
was
do.
Streaming Trees. You guys weren't just fat.
We weren't.
You were pretty good.
Streaming cheese. What?
Streaming cheese. Streaming cheese. That's it.
Okay, so enlighten me. What is it I'm going to roll off of that you're going to mention about us getting kicked out of the show?
No. I can't.
He's got some.
You said your mother-in-law is going to be listening. I'm not going to.
No,
Future mother-in-law.
My future mother-in-law.
Uh-uh.
Congratulations, by the way, getting
Thank you.
married soon.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Thank you. Very.
We're invited to the wedding, I heard.
You're invited.
We're
to
Steve
playing
invited us.
We're playing the wedding.
We're emceeing the wedding. I'm gonna be
Do you
there.
want a bench
I'm
troll?
gonna be
We'll
your
be present.
minister.
You guys set up outside interviewing everybody.
You know
Hey,
No.
what you should do?
you know what you should do? You should totally marry him.
You would never forget your wedding ever. No matter like
Something tells me I'm not gonna. Yeah.
We'll interview your wife before she says I do. What's your scariest moment?
when's the last time you got kicked out of a club?
Oh,
She says tonight.
she'll be.
Yeah, it's happening.
She's on no refunds. Oh, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I can't remember another time we got thrown out. Did is there something you
I'm not gonna say it. I'm
Well,
not gonna say it.
Oh, he's got something. He's got. I know he does. Hi,
He's
Finley.
just being a wise guy.
He's got something.
No, I don't.
Oh, he is.
No, we'll talk
We
about
were.
it.
I remember we were loading into a show in Jackson, Mississippi, and someone got shot at the gas station next door to us. That was fun.
Was it him? He got shot at a show in Texas.
No.
Steve just pooped a little bit.
Oh, my
Could have been.
goodness.
It's close enough.
Oh.
I got shot on Halloween night, 1999, in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Did you?
Right after a show.
Right.
That I was playing and singing,
Wow.
playing drums and singing.
Wow.
I did it.
Yeah.
They really like you guys, huh?
350 people at that show. One person got shot.
Wow.
Hello.
That was
Yeah,
you.
it was the
Wow.
smallest one. Oh, wait, never mind.
Congrats.
He was just the slowest mover.
Is there a both answer?
Go
box?
outside.
Pretty
Smoke
much like
another
all of the
joint.
above.
Yes, see all of the
Answer
above.
D.
Just kidding. So do you guys remember a club down here called Jabberjaw?
Yes.
Absolutely,
Yeah, we
yeah.
played there a couple times. That was fun.
Oh,
That was
man.
fun.
Hollywood shows that are closed now. What
Yeah.
venues that have closed out that you guys played at?
Alvar.
Where?
Alvar. Did you guys ever play?
I don't think we ever
Alvar?
played. We played Safari Sam's, not the one in Hollywood, but there's another one
Mhm.
was it in Orange County or Long Beach or something?
Yeah, I think it was Long Beach.
Yeah, we
Anaheim,
played
I
there.
thought.
Oh, Anaheim, maybe.
Mhm.
We played there with Wax.
Oh, I fucking
my
love
God.
Wax.
Yeah, Wax are awesome. Yeah,
California.
Yeah.
That,
Mhm.
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys are fucking amazing.
yeah. We played the Roxy with the Fluid. We played the Troop.
Rogers?
We played Raji's our first time here. Our first swing through was in early '91, and we played Raji's, We played Club Lingerie.
Oh wow!
And then we played at UCLA with Sister Double Happiness. So
I think it's probably too late for Spankies. You remember Spankies?
Yeah, but that was in Riverside.
No, Spankies.
yeah, we never played out there in Riverside. We never did. We never went out there. Mostly we played the Casbah. Mostly we played Bogarts.
You played Velvet in San Diego?
I don't think so. No, I think we played somewhere on campus once at UCSD too with Dig. I think.
Oh, I love those guys.
And
too.
Rust. And Rust.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It was the 90s.
And Inch. I think Inch played that show too. Yeah.
Not off by an inch.
No.
Just inch.
Just an Inch. Yeah. And then we played the Troubadour quite a bit too. That was like one of our mainstays.
Are there any bands that you remember playing with back then that like?
Do you want to kill?
Well, I guess Music is one of them where they opened up for you and all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah, they became huge and
And
lost
then
our phone
never
number.
called you
Yeah,
again.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Fuck you, Weezer.
yeah. No, it's all right. They got their path. I got mine.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But you're a millionaire, so like it's cool.
No, I'm just
What
kidding.
was the favorite show you ever went to? You actually attended and saw?
My favorite show that I ever saw and went to and attended and saw? Is that what you said?
Harvard
A
and
lot of
Stone a couple
words out
weeks
of
ago.
That's a
possibly
lot of words.
A little drunk.
Like, I don't know, man. There's different aspects. Like seeing Pink Floyd in '87 was rad because like that was just like visually just that was rad. Seeing Van Halen in 1980 on the Women and Children First tour, that was epic.
No.
Yeah.
My first rock show was Alice Cooper in 1980, but my first concert was Gordon Lightfoot in '78.
No shit.
And shortly thereafter, my mom took us to see Cheech and Chong. So yeah,
Nice.
right when Up in Smoke came out, they played up at a place called the Circle Star Theater. Yeah, that was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
were talking about this the other day. My first actual
Yeah.
concert was Jackson 5
Oh
at
yeah.
Dodger Stadium.
Oh nice.
Yeah, like
Rad.
in '84. It's like wow, that's
Wow.
kind of feel kind of lucky about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's killer. We got to see the Blasters and the Plugs in 1982. That was cool.
Oh, that
San
sounds
Francisco.
awesome.
Yeah, the Plugs were awesome.
My most the person who's impressed me the most with their list of shit that he's seen is Keith
Yeah.
Morris.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
seen
dude, I can imagine. He's seen
everything.
everybody. Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
He's 112.
Yeah. And he's seen, 6,000 shows.
Oh
so-
yeah.
Yeah. No, there's been a lot, man. I went to a lot of concerts in the day. We had a place just over the hill from us called the Concord Pavilion. And then in Antioch proper, which is about 35 miles east of Oakland, where we grew up, these guys had a barn out in the middle of nowhere. They started having shows at in 1983, the summer of '83, called the Concert Barn. And Quiet Riot played
Super
there
original.
right when Metal Health came out. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Huey Lewis, right when Sports came out, there was like 10 people there.
Really?
Yeah. But the big show was Dio played his first show as Dio there for Holy Diver Tour.
No
that was
way.
his first show. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And the set is actually posted on YouTube. Like somebody
Okay.
recorded the show. It's rad because he
Big
plays
old
all
camera?
kinds of rain. No, it's just audio. Yeah.
Oh.
But plays all kinds of Sabbath and Rainbow and yeah, it was incredible. Yeah. The place was packed too. So yeah. And his wife even mentions it in the thing. He even played Antioch or something like that. It was like,
Oh wow.
like, yeah, thanks, I
kinda
guess.
random.
Yeah. So yeah.
But everybody
That was
had to get their
epic.
start.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
How old were you when you played your first show?
I played my first show when I was on bass, and that would have been 1987. I had this cheesy heavy metal band called Peril. Yeah.
Peril.
Yeah.
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 Insert spikes right here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We were okay, but yeah. Our guitarist had stage fright, so he was just like, and we never played another gig. So
Oh, wow.
poor guy. Yeah.
Is that on
So-
YouTube? What's his name and address?
Did you ever have stage fright?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh, wow.
Never. It's easier behind the drums. Like if you ever go back, like the first Colorfast show was on YouTube. I posted up there the video, and you can see me. I'm doing this the whole time, like that. But I wasn't like stage fright. I think I was just like trying not to mess up, because I played drums for like 8 months or something like that.
Not a lot of
Yeah.
time to learn how to play drums.
No, it's not.
I mean, Gizz hasn't gotten it down yet, and it's
47 years. What is it?
I think 50
Jesus
now.
Christ, dude. I'm only 46.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Is this what 46 looks like now? Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
Wow.
You've been rolling around for a while.
Harsh. So we're running out of time, I hear.
Are
No,
we?
I'm just kidding.
No, we can be. I mean, I can quit anytime.
I'm just kidding.
We're running out of time.
You're breaking it.
Exactly. And scene. No, I'm just kidding.
Your wife just called.
No.
Oh no.
No.
She's pissed that you're getting married to another chick.
What?
What's his name?
What did that even? Left field.
Yeah. Told you
I
this
love
is
to
a
get
bad
guys in
idea.
trouble.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Right? How many times do we need to edit down the show again?
Well, we gotta cut it. We gotta cut it short today because tonight's the bachelor
What?
The bastard party?
The bastard party?
I like the bastard party. I'm fucking in.
party. That's a good name for a band too.
Bastard
We've been
Party.
coming out with
First
some
band,
good
right?
names tonight.
Midget bowling.
Nick Cave's first band? Oh, that's a
Birthday. Was it birthday party or birthday cake? It was birthday party, right?
It's birthday party.
Yeah, I was just kidding.
So,
It was a snackster stuff.
yeah.
So, what are your?
What about you guys? What was your favorite show of all time?
that I went to?
Yeah.
My very favorite show was actually probably in like 06, 07. I went to go see a Mexican rock band called Maná.
That's Menudo. Sorry.
I was in Menudo. I was in the original Menudo. Before we got
bowl? A
signed,
bowl?
we were called Pozole.
It was the pork in the soup.
No, but yeah, I went
Okay.
to go see this Mexican rock band in
Yeah.
20th Row Center.
Nice.
And it was just absolutely phenomenal. I'd
That's
seen
epic.
Kiss there, and
Yeah.
they're one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
And they blew them away.
Favorite Kiss album?
To me, it's Destroyer because it was the very first album that it was so produced and
Yeah.
it was so beautifully put together.
Bob
and then
Ezrin,
Beth,
yeah.
you know, Beth
Okay,
just
Beth
always-
is like the only Kiss song I've been to liking.
Dude, Dress to Kill. Dress to Kill is an
That's a
amazing
great-
record. That's my
a great
favorite
album.
record.
I mean, I love
Yeah,
all their albums, but Destroyer was the one album that
All their albums?
I've heard all of
The
them.
Elder?
it has some good songs on it, one or two.
He's putting weird shit in his mouth
A
too.
world without heroes.
Okay, that's enough of that. You know what? I loved Kiss like through the first 6 albums, and then after Kiss Alive 2, all of a sudden the singles came out. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Stop it. And I went and I traded my brother's Kiss Destroyer record to a guy for the first Aerosmith record, and I was changed.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I traded it to him.
Last Monday, he actually gave me Paul Stanley's solo album on
Oh,
vinyl.
dude. Yeah. Yeah, nice.
Oh yeah.
He was going
Okay.
through his collection.
Toys in
of
the
stuff
Attic,
office.
Aerosmith.
Dude,
Fucking
yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
REM covered almost the entire album.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Everything through like Night in the Ruts. I love.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Here's a song. Here's a question that he usually asks, and he hasn't
Yeah.
asked today.
Yeah.
What is the band that got you into punk rock?
What's it with the Ramones? I was 11. I bought Rocket to Russia.
And that was
And
it, huh?
that was it. And it's interesting because growing up in Antioch, it was just Hessian country. Like nobody listened to
man.
punk rock. Nobody listened to new wave. If you did, you got the crap beat out of you. So he didn't admit it. But Bob's friend in 1978 had bought the first Devo record and didn't like it. So she gave it to him. And so we were just like, whoa.
Blown
And
away,
then
right?
like some guy at the record store recommended Bob buy the first Specials album when it came out. We're like, whoa, you know,
Hate
like
ska.
first B-52's record.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
just you know what I mean? Like we got in on that ground level, but it wasn't really until like high school that it really started to take off. Like MTV came out and like bands like Oingo Boingo started getting more airplay. Like we went and saw Day on the Green up in Oakland at the stadium. It was Police with Oingo Boingo, Madness, Fix, and Thompson Twins. And because we love Madness, and so we were stoked to see Matt. It was
Hands
rad.
down one of my favorite
Yeah,
bands.
but Oingo Boingo killed. And
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so did the Fix were really good, and the Police were kind of boring, but I loved the first couple Police records. But
I don't
Yeah.
fucking like Sting or the Police at
Yeah.
all, but I've also watched tutorials on Stuart Copeland, and I'm like, God, that fucking
Yeah.
dude is a bad.
watch that Rock Goes to College special on the BBC of them. It's literally like the night before they go to America for their first ever US tour in 78.
Yeah.
And they're just so energetic and crazy.
I mean, his
So good.
drums. I'm like,
Yeah, he was amazing. Yeah.
really?
Have you ever seen?
thought this was a punk rock show?
Right? Yeah.
Well,
there you
I
go.
mean, look, and so that's kind of a leading question is like the state of music today. And I've said this a million times. Like if
Yeah.
MTV existed when Leonard Skinner came out, they never would have gotten famous. They just aren't pretty. Like there's a turning point
Yeah.
there where like the state of music today. How do you feel about that?
But you know that's an interesting question because think about it. Back then in the 70s, there weren't many music videos, and same thing with the
None.
very early 80s. As MTV first came out, they were showing whatever they could show.
Yeah.
That's why bands like Buggles and Susie got lots of airplay because they just happened to do videos that were they were readily available and they could play them for the cheap. The state of music now, to me, I think it's just too individualized. There's no doesn't feel collaborative at all. I mean, it's just one guy in his bedroom with an acoustic guitar, and he, gives himself the name of a band, and it's just like,
I miss the days of listening to an entire record. Like the whole singles thing kills me. And I look at these kids on YouTube. I'm like, that kid's 7 years old, and I will never be that fucking good.
Yeah.
It
feels like there's too much acceleration. There's not enough. Like I was watching the Zeppelin documentary last night, and somebody made a joke on my post to go to see it that Greta Van Fleet thing, and I'm just I'm like, yeah, but see, here's the difference. Like Greta Van Fleet listened to Led Zeppelin and mimicked exactly what they were doing, whereas Led Zeppelin took the bits and pieces of things they were listening to, and then two guys went off to be studio musicians, and they were constantly playing stuff. So they were constantly hearing different music and different styles. And then when they decided to start a band, they brought all this different stuff into it. They didn't just listen to one thing and say, this is how we're going to sound. It was like, 17 different sounds put into one.
Mick Jagger said of Steven Tyler, imitation is the biggest form of flattery.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is really fun. Like if people like, I am going to be, that's what I need to want to be. Like I'm fat too.
Yeah. You are, my man. You are.
We're going to get a new sponsor, Ozempic or something.
Oh man. So it's so weird to see that acceleration. Like I'm like, what the fuck? Walk off the earth. There are 5 people on one guitar.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't watch YouTube videos of little 8-year-olds playing guitar solos and stuff, because I think a lot of it's
not allowed to.
A lot. You know what I mean, though? It's like these like teenagers.
You gotta grow a mustache now.
But like these teenagers on YouTube doing, it's like first of all, none of it's live. It's all pre-recorded. And they're just playing to it. You can see like the mistakes and stuff like that. And it's just like, who are you trying to impress? You're trying to impress people who don't create music. You're trying to impress people who are easily impressed by whatever.
But the actual creative juice in the art that is music, to me, it's the most pure form of art, because you can convey emotion very subtly. And I don't remember who said it. We were talking about the other night. Like the notes you don't play might be the most important ones.
Exactly. There's no space in music anymore. That's the thing, man. There's so much
Well, the early 80s, that really, you had punk rock starting.
That literally is what
punk rock is. 80s. It was like all these guitar virtuosos, shredders coming in.
Yeah.
It made it boring for me because
I mean, it was kind of exciting at first because these guys are coming out of nowhere with like Steve Vai and stuff. You're like, whoa,
Steve Vai,
Satriani and Ingve, just
fucking Van Halen.
But nobody had the feel of fucking
Randy Rhoads,
fucking Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah.
Nobody had that actually. There's a feel to it.
Yeah.
But
the thing that separates somebody like Stevie Ray Vaughan is that man could be playing a solo, break a string, and never lose where he is, because he could, transpose himself into wherever he had to go to finish the lead.
Yeah.
Today a guitar player loses a string, he's like,
my name Jeff.
What's up?
One of my favorites was always Schenker, though, because he would just rip a solo and then just do some beautiful melodic backward halftime thing at the end of it. You just be like, what is going on here?
And another thing the only thing that I hated about punk rock was that if there was that random solo in a song, well, they're one of the first bands that, started having guitar solos, but then you would go see them live and it was just kind of like a half-ass version of it.
Yeah.
To me, that's what I loved about Ace Frehley, that you could sing the solo.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about lead guitars and lead guitar solos is when you can do that, and it's just like, oh man, that's beautiful, because it becomes part of the song. But then you see them live and they're just like,
So you're saying Primus ruined everything?
I'm not gonna specifically call. I saw
them open for the Chili Peppers a couple times. They were the opening band of 3.
That was way back.
Now they got a new drummer. Thank you very much.
So what would your biggest piece of advice somebody young getting into the music industry or trying to get into the music industry, how would you coach somebody young?
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't give up your job at Wendy's.
Grow the mustache.
No. Grow the mustache, exactly. Watch lots of YouTube videos of 7-year-olds and then decide that you don't want to be a musician. No, I don't know, man. I'm not the kind of person to give advice, but
Well, you told me to do a bunch of shit.
Shut up. Jerky jerk.
And did you do any of it?
I
No.
know,
Yeah.
exactly. You didn't do
Eric's
any of
dead.
it. I know.
Shaved eyebrow and everything.
I know. No, just you know what? I mean, just dig out music that you dig and learn what's exciting about it, you know, because there's just so much garbage now that you can listen to and mimic and recreate. But if you don't go back and listen to like music with feeling and music with grooves, you won't fully understand how to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
I'm-
very
I'm-
true. But it, to me, also, it is the passion behind it. What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish from it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I love hearing people like, I
Do you-
just want to play the music. That's all I want. I don't care about the money. Like, fuck off. You're in a band. You don't go to Wendy's just to make burgers for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and then like admitting that to yourself, like, okay, then what's the clearest path to do something
Mm-hmm.
important like that? Like, what are you gonna lay down? Well, you got to learn your craft
Yeah.
for starters. I mean, like the
But-
new,
Yeah.
the
But
new
then we
slide
go back.
MEOW.
But then we go back to when you're in a band. What is the most part about selling yourself as a band?
Yeah.
Hitting the road.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
no, it's a place called the Crossroads. It's in Missouri or something.
One thing I really
That
appreciate.
place is lit.
Oh, one thing I really appreciate about my son is that he started off playing drums when he was a little guy, and then he picked up the guitar, and then he picked up the bass, and he never like went far enough into one of those instruments to like master it, but he knows how to play each of them. But then he really dug into like home production, like producing software and creating beats, and then, you know, laying keyboard parts on it and stuff like that. And him and a couple friends on Discord created a band called Randy Joe Hip and Steel, and it's just like this weird, trippy, you know, I don't know, sort of Pink Floyd on acid kind of stuff. And they made like 3 or 4 records that they just put out there, and it's just like really trippy.
That's awesome.
And what they would just do, like Keegan would lay down a beat, and then he'd mail it to this guy, and this guy would lay down a guitar part, and then he'd mail it to this person, and they'd throw some keyboards on it, some backward stuff, and back to Keegan, and he'd lay some vocals. Yeah, just back and forth until
That's the beauty of what
Yeah.
music is today, and,
Yeah.
and home recording. I sing
Yeah.
for a band in
yeah.
Australia.
Yeah.
You almost said
Yeah.
Scotland.
You know?
That Amos
You
record
almost
that I
said
did, that I don't know if you listened to that, but that Stoner Rock record I did, Amos, I played everything on it except for keyboards and lead guitar. So yeah, I had a friend play keys on it, and then Bob and Torg from Colorfast played the leads, and I sang, and yeah, I did all the stupid stuff. So, and I'm a terrible singer, but it's kind of hackneyed, but
think
I just, you know what? You shut your pipe.
I love these guys.
But-
It's all my role.
But I just wanted to do it, and I did it. So
So Colorfast is never going to get back together no matter
I
what.
don't
I
think
already
so.
said
I don't think so.
I know.
No.
I'm just
I think it's
reiterating.
done.
Like, we
If
do
John
this.
Cassie gave you $1.5 million.
We've had a lot of
Oh,
we've had a lot of opportunities to redo stuff, and it's just now.
Are you guys still putting out merch?
Bob just has no interest in it. So we did a vinyl press of the first album a couple years ago. Then we did a vinyl press of 2 Words last year.
What
where
was
can we
that?
get
There's a
this stuff?
site. It's a clear vinyl with.
Yeah, with the splatters.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a Record Store Day release a couple
where-
years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all over. And then you can go to Bandcamp. The guy put out 300 copies of the 2 Words vinyl. So I was going to try and bring some fun stuff, but it's all in storage. And I was like, oh, because I just moved. So
That's right.
sorry.
Just got out of jail.
No, he moved to
New Sally.
I moved to Laguna Hills. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
to be
That
all-
millions of
that
dollars.
Colorfast money.
Yeah,
Mine-
Colorfast money. That's the name of the band. We did a tribute back on Colorfast money.
His wife's the manager.
Uh-huh.
His fiance is the manager now.
Yeah.
Damn Yoko.
Really doing it.
When's Bob coming in?
Who?
Bob.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of
He's a cool guy.
her.
Yeah, no, Bob doesn't get down here very often. He's still in the Bay Area. So
Oh.
yeah,
I don't blame him. I mean, I do
Yeah,
for a lot.
yeah.
Bob's the new guy.
Global warming.
Bob's your uncle.
So where can we get you on the internet?
Me on the internet?
If you want to
What's your social security number?
1-900.
No, he's pretty old, so it's 52.
Yeah, not very much.
Just one.
You looked, huh? Yeah. I keep it on the down low. Yeah.
Specifically on you, but
Yeah.
if you have like promote
Yeah.
the band or anything.
The great thing is that there's a band from the late 80s called the Dan Reed Network. And if you look me up, if you type in Dan Reed, it comes up with that bald guy.
I
and you're like,
Found the shit out of that.
yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's awesome.
I mean, Dan Reed's the shit, right?
I mean, he's awesome as in, anyway.
Yeah.
No.
I like him.
You can't find me on the internet. I'm a ninja. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, Mr. Ninja, thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks
It's
for
been a
having
pleasure
me.
for-
I hope you guys had a good time.
Yeah,
Oh,
if you're listening,
That's the one
What's
thing.
that? Yeah.
Don't listen to him.
JanReadPorn.com.
You listen to him and he keeps talking. He doesn't know his fucking face over there. Next time we're gonna have a fucking wall. We talked about having a little
We need
window
a
and then
fucking
we like
squirt
no,
gun, dude.
no.
A squirt gun.
Oh, like the cat. Get him off the couch.
Or again, the greatest weapon in the history of humankind: poop on a stick.
Oh. On that note,
Everybody, listen over when Colorfast as often as possible. Look up Dan Reed a bunch because that's gonna get weird.
Yeah. And once again, thanks to our sponsors,
There you go.
Headline Records,
Transplants Brewing,
MEOWZ.
Riot Manufacturing.
and
We have a website. We're
Website.
going live.
website. It's
We're gonna make overwhelming Colorfast shirts and not pay the band. We're gonna
Wouldn't
spell
be
it
the
wrong
first
now.
time.
our merch should be up this week, so you can buy. We've been having a lot of problems with it.
yeah, what gives?
King Tarn.
Guy behind the keyboard.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Yeah,
is that what this thing is?
chops up lines on it.
Fucking joystick boy over there.
But once again, you know what you should do? Come back next Monday. Check us out, 7 p.m. every Monday night. We'll have Rob Graver from 747 and the Deep End next week.
Uh-huh.
And we got a whole new roster of people coming in April, which is going to be really cool. Wait,
Yeah.
March.
Nice.
March.
March.
I'm already skipping to March.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
April,
just forget
all the
March.
You already blacked out for March?
Well, in April, all the good guests are in April.
He's a good planner.
Steve-O's
Oh, yeah.
coming in.
He's like St. Patrick. What the fuck happened?
Have you even booked our guests for St.
I'm
Patrick's?
not,
Stuff's
no, I'm
all-
not talking about it.
No? Okay, it's
I'm
going to be a
not talking about it.
surprise.
It's just going to be you.
Great.
Dan, not you. The Dan.
Okay. All right.
You're fired.
Well, thank you guys for having me. It was
It's a
definitely
pleasure.
something that happened.
Honestly, like
Well,
one
thank
of
you,
my
brother.
favorite
Thank you.
bands.
Always a
Appreciate that,
pleasure.
man. Yeah.
Always a pleasure hanging out with
Thank
you.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for making some great music, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank
you.
Turn that shit up. People are listening.
Overeating color fat.
We all fall down. We all fall down. We all fall down. We all fall down. And we all keep on falling down as we all